Hello everyone, alecandstuff here. I figured since we are in what I call the dry period for game releases, for obvious reasons, I thought it would be fun to list off and discuss my personal top 10 games I'm excited to play this year in the form of a mini-series in which I'll be posting one video every Saturday and Sunday until we reach the end. Check below in the description of this video for a link to the playlist where you can watch each video as it's released until we get to number 1. So let's get things started.
Go.
Super Mario Maker is the title that sandbagged me this year. Prior to E3, I knew of the game's features, I knew what it was about, and it just didn't interest me. I feel like there's only so many things you can do from world to world in terms of creation until the community just runs out of ideas. The thing that changed my opinion about this title was its inclusion in the Nintendo World Championships. I watched the two finalists play through some Nintendo employee-created levels and just how tough and inventive they were. Some of the things shown off during that tournament were things that we've never seen in a Mario game before, most notably that hilarious Tower of Bowser's. That, coupled with my time I got to have with it on the show floor, made me change my mind really quickly. Mario Maker is definitely a huge love letter to the players who can really sit down and appreciate good level design whenever they pick up a Mario title, myself included. The game has so many neat little details and quirks that it's almost hard to look past them. For example, during level creation in whatever Mario title you're building with, the corresponding soundtrack will play in the background. But whenever you go to place an object, a small little voice will sing whatever you're placing to the tune of the game's music. It's a cute little feature, and the voice is almost reminiscent of the sentry turrets from Portal 1 and 2. Another interesting detail is the way in which the player can go about building some things. For example, say you want to build a large thwomp. In most other games you'd be given a click and drag dial to adjust the size of the object in question, but not in Mario Maker. Instead, the game makes it a lot easier to visualize and understand by placing mushrooms on top of things you want to make bigger. I thought this was really cool to see, since it really shows that while Nintendo wants to give you a fully featured level designer, they also allow the game to stay true to that Nintendo charm that we all know and love. Another cool feature to note is how while creating, you can change between Mario games on the fly, without the need to restart or pause what you're doing in any way. While I had the game at my hands, I got to play some of the levels from the previous day's tournament, which is way more difficult than it looks to complete, by the way. I even got to try out the game's amiibo functionality. The figures don't add anything in terms of gameplay, instead it's visual. When you scan in a compatible amiibo, the game changes your avatar from your default Mario to whatever figure you scan in. Personally, I got to try Wii Fit Trainer and Link, which both come in their own 8-bit sprites and crouch animations. As I mentioned earlier, this game is absolutely the love letter to those Mario fans that can appreciate and even create awesome levels. From the amazing amount of content included, the hilarious amiibo functionality, as well as the focus on community content, I can see this game sticking around for a long time, and I'm stoked to see what kind of levels the game's community will come up with.
He's feeling the flow now. He's really putting together a nice run here. He actually,
here we go.
He's putting together a really good
This could
time
be
on
the
this.
run. Bam.
Bam.
Bam. Get the puck. Oh!
No matter how difficult. Another player before they die. In Halo 5, this amount of time has been lowered, and in a large way. Now, clearly something like this just comes down to personal, and water rises and lowers depending on, I'm actually not sure how it works, but we just know that it rises and lowers depending on something, and I actually wanted to hop